So we can stay on time. Coach Verlin stole about 8 of my minutes, so I'm going to go fast. One of the things that I want to do is try to give you as many bullet point teaching points that you can take to your team. Some of it will be done before I actually get started coaching our guys, but a lot of it will be on the court. Someone picked my speaking topic. It wasn't me that spoke it, so I'm speaking on drills, shooting drills you can do to develop confidence. So by that, I wanted to start off by talking about confidence, which our guys nowadays, and probably your guys as well, use the word swag or swagger. And the definition of swag is very confident, typically arrogant or aggressive manner. That's been changed. It could be how one presents himself or herself to the world, and it could be dominance over others, to be elite. So when we're talking about swag, developing swag or confidence, it's for you to be dominant over others or to be elite. I like that definition a little bit better than arrogant or aggressive manner. And every man needs to have some sort of swag with their demeanor. This is the mindset that separates the weak from the strong. Survival of the fittest. So, to talk in their terms, because swag is not a word that I use every single day, we want to develop swag for them to be aggressive and competitive and confident in their shooting. And I will talk about shot selection in a little bit, but it's very important as we work through our drills and we go through our practice that you have that. As soon as you get tired, you lose your confidence or swag. So we want to make sure that what we're doing is continuing to use words, trigger words, that will add to their swag and their confidence. I'm going to talk about 3 important aspects of shooting that we use. I think everybody needs to use, you need to be aware of it, and you need to structure it with these 3 things in mind. Number 1 in shooting is form and fundamentals. How do you want your shooters to shoot? What form, what fundamentals, shooting, footwork, all those kind of things, hand release, how you're going to hold the ball, how you're going to teach your shooters how to shoot, and what you're going to demand out of them. To me, form and fundamental shooting is very good at the beginning of practice and to start off each workout or practice. Very important that you start with that base, but I think that's one part of it. The second part is repetition. Getting repetition. Gene, the strength coach, talked about that. Basketball is a very repetition game. A lot of guys talk about their feel. I want to get the feel for that. Repetition shooting gives them that feel. So you need to do a lot of repetition shooting. It's how you, as a shooter, you get the feel for what it feels like to push up and have that perfect arch on the shot. What it feels like to not do that. And so what we talk a lot about is we want to catch ourselves in the act of doing it great. Too many times as coaches and players, we think negatively and we think like we're always correcting and we're always thinking about what I did wrong. We want to shift that more into catching yourself in the act of doing it great and then being able to repeat that over and over and over again. Repetition practice can be done before practice and then also after practice, and we'll even incorporate some of it in the middle. And then the third aspect of shooting, I think that's probably the most important part that demands coaching of someone else helping them out, is game shots. And game shots for us are going to happen during practice. When we structure our shooting drills, we're going to structure them to be game shots. Now, the truly great ones will get their butts in the gym, and they'll go through their form, they'll get some repetition, and then they can get some game shots before practice. We've had very few over the years that have been that dedicated and have done a great job of it. Most of the time before practice, you're getting form in your repetition. But being able to take game shots, and here's just a couple little things about that. If we took our shooting gun and we had shoot 100 threes with the shooting gun spitting it right out to you, we would have guys that can make 87 out of 100 3-pointers. Right? You put them in games, filmed, with defense and decision making and all that stuff, and then we have one that might be 3 for 17. Same guy who made 87 for 100 on the gun, who's 3 for 17 in game-like situations. So the gun's great for the repetition in the field, but it's not going to help them make shots when there's defense and when there's more of a time element. So it's very important that as you continue your season, but that you get those game shots. Also, same thing as far as free throws. Free throws, go to the basket, shoot your 5 free throws, shoot 2 free throws, and I'll finish with free throw shooting. Yesterday we shot 87% as a team. Pretty good, each guy shot 5. 87% as a team. We took game free throws, stopped in the middle of a drill, shoot 2 free throws, shoot a 1-on-1 right in front of it, we shot 50%. That's where we're at right now, but it's very important that we incorporate that game free throw shooting into our shooting drills, because that's how it's going to be in the game. You're going to be shooting them with some kind of a time element, some kind of a score, some kind of a crowd. There's going to be other things that you're going to need to make sure that you're locked onto as you do that. So I think those 3 aspects, as you develop your shooting for practice and also your workouts, it's important that you think about those 3 things and you incorporate them into that. Just like the competitive shooting mindset, it's very important that you build that into your drills and your workouts. I think 2 ways to do it is to chart it and film it. Nowadays, the greatest thing is you have your cell phones, people have their iPads, your little mini, cute little iPads, whatever you get. Use those to film shooting. Film a guy shooting and show him on the iPad. You can show it to him on your phone 2 minutes after. This is a great free throw shot. How you held your follow through, your tempo, whatever it is that their keyword is. This is one that you did not. Everybody nowadays has access to be able to use that, and I think that's important that you use that. And the other thing is charting it. We don't chart everything we do, but we try to chart as much as we can, because it's more information that can be used for us to teach and for our players to learn. So making those things a little bit more competitive by doing that, and also having that feedback additionally to just when I'm shooting. I think one of the problems with shooting can be you get too much just repetition shooting and there's not enough on it. To me, I don't know if you're going to have the ultimate swag or the ultimate confidence if you don't build in the aspect of it being competitive and having some kind of consequence if you can't get a certain number on your shots. Mental part of shooting, real quick, and then we'll get started here. 4 things that state of mind as far as when it comes to shooting. Positive self-talk. You got to focus on what you want to do. Positive self-talk, you're telling yourself, you got to train to do this. Tell yourself what you want to make happen. Too many people concentrate on what they don't want to make happen. We want to focus on what we want to make happen. Second thing is relaxation, very important. Goes hand in hand with the self-talk. Usually self-talk kind of speeds you up, gets you a little anxious. Being able to relax. Relax is as simple as a deep breath. Incorporating a deep breath. We all breathe, but we don't even think about it. In shooting, build in breath into your shooting routines. Very important. It relaxes you. Try taking a deep, cleansing breath. It's going to relax you more than you were right before. So make sure that you talk about that. And also part of relaxation is trusting yourself. If you trust yourself, it goes back to the positive self-talk. Visualization, I think it's very important as it's related to shooting, is seeing yourself doing it correctly. You can practice it doing that way. Seeing yourself making that. Obviously, you use it by filming it, but then taking that and putting that into your brain to where you can practice it without even being on the court. And the last part is goal setting, which I've already talked a little bit about, making it competitive, having charts for your team that you're built into your, the way that you're shooting, having individual goals, having a standard that you're working on getting to. Okay, and then 2 more things before I get started. What is a good shot? 4 parts, I think that can, for what's a good shot. One that you trust. You as the player, the coach, your team. If you trust that shot, that is the first part of being a great shot. Second part is you're ready. And we talk a lot about ready position. Are you ready to shoot that shot? If you're ready, it's going to be a great shot. And then is it an expected shot? That goes into shot selection and your role. It's expected that when you're open on the wing from 3-point line that you shoot that shot. It's expected that if you're a great low post scorer and we throw it into you, that you go score that ball. So it's an expected part of how we're playing versus something that's unexpected and catches us off guard. And then also, this is earned by charting and film and shot selection. Again, is it a high percentage shot? So if you can answer yes to those 4 things, trust, you're ready, and it's expected, and it's a high percentage shot, I think that's a really good shot. We teach 1-2 permanent pivot foot when we shoot. So right when we get started to go here, all of our right-handers, their left foot is going to be the permanent pivot foot. Their right foot is what they're going to step with. The only times we won't have a permanent pivot foot is in the post. When we catch the ball in the post, they can go either way, off of either foot. When they are cutting to the rim, so if they're cutting to the rim and I catch the ball and I have to go right-left, we allow them to do that. And then also off the dribble. So if I go off the dribble and I'm going left and I right-left into my shot real quick, we'll allow them to do that. But any other time that they're coming off the screen or moving out on the perimeter or flashing and they catch the ball, we want them on their permanent pivot foot. So left-right for right-handed shooters, right-left for left-handed shooters. And as you watch our practice today, we will be coaching that. And not all of them are perfect, but we really work hard on permanent pivot foot. The reason why we do that is advantages to being a permanent pivot foot. You do it the same way every single time. Whether I shoot the ball here, there, on that side, coming off the screen, standing there, I'm 1-2 into my shot, and I'm stepping with my right foot as a right-handed shooter into my shot every single time, no matter where I'm at. Also, stepping into your shot gets you going towards the basket. I think one of the hardest parts about shooting, there's a lot of players, they think it looks cool to fade or lean or do all that stuff. By going 1-2 into your shot, we'll make sure, or not make sure, nothing make sure, will allow you to help you to go towards the rim when you shoot. Very important to keep your ball straight and to be a consistent shooter. And then also the last thing that I think is really important is now, once I go 1-2, it really allows my jab and my lift fake series to be all the same way no matter where I'm on the court. So I don't have to have a lift fake series with my left foot as my lead foot and my right foot as my lead foot. I'm always jabbing and going with my strong or right foot. So it allows you to now, anywhere on the court, you really have the same jab and lift fake set skill package. It's not like you have to go both sides of the court. So now all of a sudden you don't have to maybe work on that as much. Some things that people think the other way, by hopping or going inside finish or pivot foot, they think that it's quicker. And it might be, but rather than quicker, I don't know if we want necessarily the quickest shot all the time. We want the highest percentage, best shot. So for us, when our guys learn how to shoot and they can go left, right, going both ways, I don't know that it's not that much quicker, but I do believe that it is a higher percentage shot. Okay, so right now I want to introduce Trevin Harris. Trevin Harris is from Kingwood, Texas. And I also want to introduce Andrew Bach. Andrew Bach's from Rialto, won state championships. Both great players, both great shooters. I want to thank them for being here, but also, more importantly, thank them for giving a championship effort for the next couple minutes here. But we're going to start with one-hand form shooting. And they'll do this on their own, or we'll do this at the start of practice. We have 3 spots right in front of the rim, and they're going to start at those 3 spots, and they got to make 3 makes in a row before they move. And there's 2 things that we want to stress. Ready position, meaning they're down low and ready, and then high release on the fall through. 2 things. Those are the main 2 things that we're going to coach as we go. So when they make 3, then they'll move to the next spot. Make 3 in a row. They should move to the next spot. So they're working on, we want to try to make perfect swishes. When we have more time, we'll do it with 3 perfect swishes in a row before we move to the next spot. Once we move to those next spot, okay, they got to make 3 in a row. 3 in a row. Ready position, high release on the fall through. One of the things we will build into this is hold your ball for a second. Now we'll also, instead of just catching like that, now we'll also work with the pivot foot into that. So now you're getting ready. So now he's still not going to jump. He's still going to keep on his feet, but he's going to catch the ball and 1-2 into his shot. So he's going to get ready, bounce it, 1-2 into his shot. So we will build that. Once they do that, they're going to move back, and they'll have the same 3 spots, but just 2 or 3 feet behind. And they're not going to jump. It's what we call one-hand form shooting. You're really working on taking your offhand off the ball, get that one hand where you're following through high. Some of the terminology we use, I don't want to talk too much about the terminology, but we like to use on a high fall through, elbow above your eyes. Something that you can check as a player. If your elbow is above your eyes, then you have a high release and a high fall through on that. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go rhythm shooting. We're going to go 5 spots. We're going to start in the corner. When we go, we'll line them up, and we'll have a coach. They're going to bounce it. So you're going to be behind them, Trevin. We're going to go every other one. First shot will be a 15-footer. Next shot will be a shot fake shot. Then we'll step behind the 3, shot fake, 1 dribble pull up. And then we'll shoot a 3. Okay, they're going to get their own rebound. Next shot. Good. Great ready position, high release. Good. Great ready position, high release. We want to be ready as the ball's in the air. Get yourself ready. Ball's in the air. Shot fake. One dribble pull up. Next spot. Here we go. Now we're going on the wing. Same 4 shots. 1, 2 rhythm. 1, 2 rhythm. Good. Nice release, Jeff. Shot fake shot. Catch it, 1, 2, step into the shot. Make your shot pick, we'll take a shot. Now rhythm 3. That's a long rhythm 2 right there, Andy. Good, next spot. Okay, and we'll work our way around, go on the 5 spot. So at the end of those 5, now that you've shot 20 shots, different shots, in a different order, they're still getting the repetition, we're getting them started. We call that rhythm shooting. Rhythm shooting. Push forward, how many do we get on that rhythm shooting day? Better be charting this. 9? Good, we made 9 out of those ones right there. Next shot we're going to do. I went to training camp to see the Denver Nuggets one time for 3 days, and Tim Gergovich was a great skills guy, did this drill with them before practice and after practice, and so we call it the Nuggets 3-shot shooting drill. And I'm going to have Andrew demonstrate it right now. You're going to travel a rebound and pass me the ball. So we need 2 balls. And you can pick any 3 shots that you want to do. Right now we're going to have Andrew's going to start with a 15-footer on the baseline. Then he's going to step behind in the corner and drive the ball to the elbow for a corner, like what we would call corner action. And then he's going to step out here and shoot a 3-point shot. If he makes 2 out of 3, then he moves on. So Trevor will have a passer, a rebounder, and a shooter. Then he's got to get 2 out of 3 to move on. Okay, so we got 1 for 3. Goes right back. We're going again. Let's go. Two. 3. Good. Great. From there, now we'll go do the same thing to the other side. So now, other side of the court, same thing, Trey. Trevor again. Go. Now we move to the next spot. Now we're going to come, Andrew, you're going to come down. You're going to start at the top of the key. You're going to throw the ball. You're going to throw the ball. His first shot will be on the move, 15-footer. Your next shot will be a shot fake shot, 15-footer. Your last one will be a shot fake 1 dribble, top of the key. Go. Shot fake 1 dribble. Back there. 1. 2. Now we go to the next one. Very important that you have a number on it. I believe when you're shooting these kind of drills and there's no defense, great shooters should be able to shoot 67%, 70% from those shots. So a lot of our components of what we're going to ask them to make will be around that number. So for me, 2 out of 3 is 67%. If you can make 2 out of 3, that's a pretty good number. If you don't, then we're going to do it again until you can get that number. Obviously, some of that depends on your time that you have allowed to be able to do any particular drill. That's why a lot of these drills are good as we're getting ready to start at the very beginning. The next drill we're going to do, Trevor, you're going to go, is we're going to go, and our guys like this drill, is we'll be doing rhythm shooting from spots. But you got, and there's a lot of different ways that we'll do this drill. But you got to make 3 in a row for it to count as a Hubie. And the reason why Hubie is Hubie Brown, a long time ago, they used to do this drill. And so Trevor's going to shoot rhythm 15-footers right now. And if he makes 3 in a row, he gets a Hubie and he moves to the next spot. We'll usually do this drill with 3 or 4 guys all on the same line, and I would be passing. So now all of a sudden, if you get a Hubie, you move to the next spot. So we'll have passes from all different spots, and they're keeping track of, let's say we got 5 minutes to get up some shots right now for the guards. We're shooting shots, but we're also, there's an element of trying to get 3 in a row so you can get to the next spot for a Hubie here. So let's see if Trevor's going to be down ready. He's going to have a high release. 1, 0. Go, Trev. It's not like 2. That's like it. 2. Okay, 0. 1. 3. Good. 1 Hubie. 2. Get back there. 0. 1. 2. 3. Good rhythm right there. Good rhythm. Stepping towards the basket. 1, 2, shot. High release. Pull that ball through until it goes through the net. 3. Good. 3 Hubie. 1. 2. 0. 2. 3. Good. Shook. 1. 2. 3. Very good. Good job, Jeff. So now you got, it's 5 Hubies. We just did that with 1 player. We can have 4 players run at the same time. So every other guy shoots, you shoot it, get your own rebound, go back to the end of the line. Keep track of how many you make. Once you make 3 in a row, move to the next spot. We do it with 5 spots. We do it with, sometimes 5 or 6 spots, depending on what drill. One of the things that Gene, our strength coach, talked about a lot earlier, which I'm a big component of, is taking the same exercises, the same shooting drills, putting different variations on them. Rather than just, I go to some practices, high school, junior college, and it's like, before I even get there, I know, because I've been there for 7, 8 years in a row, they're going to start with this drill, and after that, they're going to do this drill, and they're going to do this shooting drill, and you already know before you even get there. Putting variation on it, your players like it, because it mixes it up, plus, I think more importantly, the game of basketball, you're not always shooting the exact same shot. So make some different variations where they got to move to different spots. They got to think a little bit differently. Helps challenge them to be able to do that. Questions on any of those so far? Okay, now the next drill we're going to do is what we call 32s. Possible 32 points to be able to get in this drill. You're going to, 5 spots. You're going to start outside the 3-point line. First one you get, you're going to rip it and go score the ball to the layup. We like to do 2-foot power layups. Then you're going to get to a 15-footer at that spot. Then you're going to get a 3. The layups are worth 1. 15-footers are worth 2. The 3-pointers are worth 3. So if we go 5 spots, that's a total of 30. We'll finish with a 1-on-1 free throw. If you make both of them, obviously you get 1 point for each one of the 1-on-1 free throws. That makes up the 32, the score of 32. So travel a rebound, all pass. Andrew, you're going to do this. Real 32s. Catch the ball side of 3. Layup, 15-footer, 3. 1. Is not really acceptable for our guys, so not a good enough score. For us, 32 is almost an impossible number. You got to make every single shot. I don't know if anybody that's ever done that drill has seen anybody make 32. We've never have, surely. The highest we've gotten is about 28 or 29. A guy might miss 1-3 or misses one of his 2s. Obviously, he's going real well. But I do like that in a short amount of time, you're taking different shots, you're getting to those spots. There's also a built-in number. Now, for our team, we have a high score. 29 is a high. If you can't beat the high, you can get to 29, then you don't have a chance to get the high score. Also, within our certain groups, we built in stuff as far as, obviously, running or different things if you don't get the highest score. So. Okay, the next thing that we do is, I got about 15 more minutes, is game shots, which I was talking about earlier. So now we've done quite a bit of form shooting, repetition shooting, different types of drills. Now we're going to go into game shots. And what game shots are is we take our offense and we break it down where those guys are going to get shots. That's why I think game shots are best by position, when you're shooting by position. Some of the shots that we shoot are different positions, we'll all shoot those shots. But a lot of shots, like point guards on our team, are going to get certain kind of ball screen shots that maybe our wings and posts don't get. Posts are going to get some trail shots, some different types of ball screen flare shots that other guys won't get. So when we get to game shooting, we're always by position when we go to shoot. So right now, Andrew and Trevin are going to start up top. We're going to go in groups of 3s on our game shots. We run a high post offense where we throw the ball to the post and then come get a handout. You're going to take his man away, come get the handout, get 2 dribbles off for the shot, get his own rebound, go back to the line. Trevin will then go. The next one that we'll have is a ball screen, where we'll come out and ball screen it. Same concept, 2 dribbles off the ball screen for the shot. And then the third one they're going to get in this set is now they throw it, they fake the handoff, and they flare to the opposite wing for the shot. On that shot, I want you guys to shoot, catch, and shoot 3 right now. Okay, here we go, let's go. 1, 2, 2 dribbles off, good. 2 dribbles off, 1, 2, shot. Get on bounce, Trevin. Drill. Oh, yeah, pick it. Ball screen, real quick. Get off, 2 big dribbles off, 2 dribbles off, 2 dribbles off. We want to get 2 dribbles off ball screens and handoffs so we get separation. Now we're going to flare. 1, 2, shot. Shot, Trevin. Same thing other side, go. Let's hand off. Drive your man down, get hand off, 2 dribbles off, 2 dribbles off. Okay. Ball screen, 2 dribbles off. Okay, gotta get ready. Flare. Now, the other part of that same action that we were just running is now we have those guys coming off of the stagger along the baseline. There's 3 reads they can make: a curl, a pop, or a fade catch. So now we're going to do the same game shots in that order: curl, pop, and fade. On curls, we want them to catch the ball and turn their head slightly, just read the defense, make sure they're open, then shoot the ball. Popping off the screen, get a great screen, 1, 2, rhythm on the shot. Fade now, baseline fade, baseline fade. And then we'll go to the other side of the court. Same thing, roll. Curl, quick, quick. Good. Left, right, into your shot. Good. Turn your hips, left, right, into your shot. Shot, Trevin. Shot, Andrew. Baseline fade. Now we're going to come off the down screen. First one you're going to do, you're going to come off the down screen, you're going to catch it and shoot it. But now we're going to add a defender. So now Derek's going to fly out along the catch. First one's a catch and shoot. Second one's a shot fake, 1 dribble right. Second one's a shot fake, 1 dribble left. Third one's a shot fake, 1 dribble left. Good. Now we add a guy flying at a shooter. Good. Make it a little bit more game realistic. They got to have the timing, be able to catch it and shoot it. Trevor got sped up on that one. Here we go. Let's go. Catch the ball ready, Trev. Good. 1, 2, shot. Good, nice shot, Andrew. Good. Yeah, shot fake, 1 dribble right. Good, now we're going shot fake, 1 dribble left. Good. Shot fake, show the ball, put your right foot in front of you on that shot fake. Right foot in front of you on the shot fake. And let's go. Good. One of the things we want to do on a shot fake is we want to be in rhythm just like we would on our shot. One of the biggest problems that our guys have is that they want to catch the ball. They want to catch the ball and they want to have the right foot behind them when they lift fake. Well, a good defender shouldn't go for that left fake if your right foot's behind you. You want to get your right foot in front of you where you're ready to shoot it. Now you can be explosive with your next step. So we have to coach that at our level quite a bit, is being able to catch the ball, get your right foot in front of you, take it on a shot, then shot fake, and then go. So a drill that I like to do is just put Andrew up the top, and we'll do it moving or we'll do it just catch and shoot. Is now, I'm not going to tell him what he's doing until after right when he catches the ball. Got it? Ready? Fake it. Shot. Shot. And I think as we do that a lot of times, it does help them be ready to catch the ball to shoot it, then they fake, and then they can go. So we do that little drill a lot of times to be able to help add that element when guys are having a hard time getting the right foot in front. For whatever reason, they allow them to do it. Next thing we're going to do is star shooting. Star shooting, I like this drill. At the end of the drill, you're either a 5-star shooter, you're a 4-star shooter, you're a 3-star shooter, a 2-star shooter, or a 1-star shooter. If you're a 0-star shooter, then leave, you go home. Okay? He's going to start at the top. He's going to get a 3 at the top. He's going to run to the opposite corner. Then he'll go to the opposite wing. Then he'll go to the opposite wing, and he'll finish up in the corner. Moving quickly in between, catching the ball on the rhythm, 1-2 on the shot. One. 3. 4. 5. Now, Trevor, I'll give you a little bit of time to go tweet that you're a 5-star shooter real quick, and then make sure you come back. So now you can go tweet he's a 5-star shooter for our team. You can't do better than a 5-star shooter. So something that we like to add. Guys like that 5-star shooter. Gives them a little bit extra swag. 2-star shooter, they don't like that so much. But we're adding moving, we're also adding element to it instead of just doing a shooting drill where you just got to go to the spots. We're not going to have our guys demonstrate, but we do what's called a lot. 1 minute or 2 minute shooting. In 1 minute shooting, you're going to start at the top of the key. Same with 2 minute shooting. How the clock, however many baskets we have, that many guys are going at the same time. We got a guy underneath on the baseline counting the makes and misses. When we say go, drill one to the foul line, shooting his first 15-footer. He's got to go get his rebound, get anywhere on the court, 15-foot, shoot another shot. Go get your rebound, get your 15-foot, shoot your shot. For 1 minute if it's 1 minute shooting, or 2 minutes if it's 2 minute shooting. There's a little bit of conditioning. There's a lot of hustle involved in the drill. And more importantly, what I really like is you can see the guys that can get a rebound, quickly sprint to a spot, and get their feet set in order to take a great shot in between. Versus the guys who try to cheat the drill, don't get their feet set, don't get bent, and they can't make enough shots to be very successful. So it's a good drill to work on being able to sprint and get your feet set and in rhythm back towards the basket before you shoot. So we like using that shooting drill. We use it quite often. 1 minute shooting, 2 minute shooting, depending on Coach Verlin does a great job with middle practice, 1 minute shooting. Chart them all. The most we've ever had in 2 minute shooting, we had one guy make 33 in 2 minutes. Pretty impressive. I think it was 33 for 35. You got to be flying. You also got to make them, get your feet set. So far, the highest we've had, it's not close to that. Okay, any new skill, this goes to shooting. I think it's very important that number 1, you learn it. Number 2, you develop it by practicing it. That's why we practice. So you got to learn it first, then you got to develop it and practice it. And then number 3, and the most important part, is you got to trust it. All of our shooters, any great athlete, when they get to a trusting, free-flowing mentality, that's when they're the best. But you got to learn it first. You got to develop it by practicing and working your butt off, and then it can become free-flowing. So we talk a lot about, for us, the key is getting them to learn it, obviously, getting them to practice it, but then when you get to that free flow, because as an athlete, you can't always stay in free flow, and that's why we want to know what it feels like to be great. So if you remember what that feels like, maybe you can trigger it up really quick. So it's really great when you do get in that free flow, but what's even great, the best athletes do it, the best shooters do it, is when they get out of that free flow, how do they get back in? And then when you get in, how do you stay in? And then the main thing for us, we use 2 words, is focus, being present-centered. Being present-centered. Are you locked on to your next shot, or are you locked on to your last miss? Or if you miss it, the coach will take you out. Or I'm not cool if I miss it. What are you locked on to? Are you locked on to doing the next shot? Great. If you are, then you're present-centered, you have the best chance to be free-flowing and trust your shot, and that's the best shot that we get. Now, I put a lot more drills in there. If there's any questions, you can ask me afterwards. I want to finish up with free throw shooting games that we like to do after practice. On free throw shooting games, again, I think it's very important. We talked about this a little bit earlier. It's very important that you put some kind of a consequence in it, some kind of a game, some kind of a situation. That doesn't mean that we don't shoot 2 free throws and rotate ever, but I just don't think that those are really helping prepare you for the game as much as shooting more like game-like situations. So one of the drills that we'll do, and I'm going to talk about a couple of them, and then we'll play one at the very end, is free throw shooting. You get your whole group lined up. One guy shoots 2 at a time, and then he rotates. First 1 to 10 wins, no matter what order you started. If you make a perfect swish, it's +2. If you make it, but it's not a perfect swish, you get 1. If you miss it, it's -2. So it puts a lot of additional pressure because guys are trying to swish it and they're trying not to miss it. So it kind of builds on the mentality part of how tough they are to shoot it the same way every single time and knock them in. The other thing that I like about it is even if you're the second or third shooter, if you make some perfect swishes, you'll still beat the guy in front of you if he doesn't make more perfect swishes than you. So there is that element of guys that go, well, I want to go first or I want to go second. That part really doesn't matter. The next drill is a group free throw, which is the same type principle, but now if you make it, you get 1. If you miss it, you get -1. And you do that until you get to +3. Once you get to +3 and then your next shot, now, a make is worth 1, a miss is worth -2. And you do that one until you get to +6. And now, a make is still 1, a miss is -3. And then when you get to the last one, when you're at 9 and you're going for 10, if you make it, it's 1, you win, or you're done. If you miss it, it's -9, you go to the end. And the reason why that's really good is at the end of the game, and you have a free throw, you either make it and you win the game, or you miss it and you lose the game, right? So let's make a drill where the same thing happens. So during that drill, as the game gets going, the free throws become more and more important at the end. Pretty close to how we play the games, right? They're all the same, really, in the long scheme of things, but as far as everybody on the outside will see the free throws at the end of the game, and you build in being able to make free throws when it's either +1 or -9. So I really like that one. And the next one we're going to do is free throw baseball. And I called some of the Giants, San Francisco Giants players, to see if they can come and help us with this, since it's free throw baseball, but they were all fishing. They were been fishing for the last couple of weeks, so they couldn't join. So then I called Yasiel Puig to see if he could come. But all he does is strike out. He can't get anybody on base right now, so he couldn't come. We're going to have to get you guys to join me do the free throw baseball right now. Free throw baseball, here's how it works. If you make a free throw, you get a single. Okay, I'll run on first. Okay, 1 out, nobody's on, everybody's on. Once you miss, it's an out, and the clear space. outs in an inning. What I like about this drill is you can have a group down there and a group down here, or we'll even do it individually, like one player against one player of the team. As long as you keep making free throws, once you have the bases loaded, you keep scoring runs. Once you get an out, it's an out, and the bases are clear. And then you keep playing on that. And then the last one we play, usually in the summertime of the off-season, is free throw golf. Free throw golf, and on free throw golf, we just change the score a little bit as far as if you make it, it's a birdie. Excuse me, it's a perfect switch, it's a birdie, you get -1. If you make it, you're at even, you got a par. And then if you miss it, it's a bogey, you get +1. So you can do the same thing. We'll play 9 holes on the lake course down here. We'll play 9 holes on the mountain course down there. Okay? And in between, we'll make sure that we tell them how much water there is on the ride, if they should use which club or not. Kind of try to get in their head a little bit as we're playing golf to make sure to add a little bit of a different element to that. Questions about any of those? Questions about that? I do want to finish with a couple great books that I think I like when I go to clinics. People tell me great books that they've read. So 5 great books that I've read that I would recommend to coaches. Number 1 is Toughness by Jay Billis, which probably many people have already read. It's a great book. If you haven't, make sure you go get that one and read. Another one is Training Camp by John Gordon. And really, John Gordon writes small books that are really quick, easy reads that are great for any team or coach or athlete. But Training Camp is one that I definitely would recommend. This next one is one that I got out of the clinic when I was back east, but it's Know Yourself as a Coach by Denny Kuiper. And this one is going to challenge you of ask you questions of how you coach. It's called Know Yourself as a Coach by Denny Kuiper, K-U-I-P-E-R. And each chapter is revolved on, do you want to coach this way, then do this. If you want to coach this way, and it asks you questions, and it's a very good book to challenge why you do the things, because you need to be able to answer those things. The next book that I would recommend is Speed of Trust by Stephen M.R. Covey. It's the great Stephen Covey. It's his son who wrote this. And Speed of Trust, which I think is outstanding, and a lot of principles that you can apply to coaching your team. And then the last book is kind of a non-coaching book, but there's a lot of coaching stuff in it, is Malcolm Gladwell's new book called David and Goliath. It's about how to slay the giants. Starts off with the new King's owner, a part of his story and some stuff in there. Again, it's a really good book to kind of get you thinking. Any questions? Try to go somewhat fast, give different drills, but I think the most important part is that you examine your team and what the game shots you're going to get, and that you build those into your workouts. Yeah. We will usually build in running. Sometimes it's just humiliation. You can't go tweet that you won, whatever, some of those kinds of things. I think a lot of times, just having a competitive aspect of your drill, our players at our level, for the most part, they just don't like to lose. So having just a winner and a loser in and of itself is consequence enough a lot of times. So we will have some running and some stuff if you don't get to a certain level, but a